I'd like to call the meeting to order for the Watertown Conservation Commission, February 8th, 2024, at 6:32. Watertown Town Hall, 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown. Roll call, please.
Craig Palmer.
Here.
Scott Murphy.
Here.
Ned Dalton here. Joe Paletta. Luigi Cavallo.
Here.
Ed Norton.
Here.
Charles Bellevaux. Mike Jett.
Here.
We'll seat Mike Jed for Joe Paletta. 3, public hearing. Can the secretary read the ground rules and the legal notice? All right.
Ground Rules Conservation Commission, Inland Wetland Agency. Number 1, the applicant or his or her representative will make his or her formal presentation to the commission stating the proposed regulated activities, the wetland impacts, and the alternatives which were considered by the applicant. 2, all comments, discussion, and observations shall be made through the chairperson after proper recognition by the chairperson. This is necessary to ensure that only one person at a time speaks on any issue, thus making it easier for everyone to understand and for clearer legal transcription. 3, all persons addressing the commission shall begin by first clearly stating their name and address for the record. If necessary, the person may be asked to spell his or her name for the record. 4, following the presentation of the application, the Conservation Commission Inland Wetland Agency will ask specific questions of the applicant. 5, after the commission has asked its questions of the applicant, the chairman shall, the chairman shall then allow any members of the public who wish to speak either in favor of this application or against it to address the commission. 6, the chairman shall then allow any applicant to respond to the comments of the members of the general public. 7, the chairman shall then allow any members of the general public who wish to present any additional information or clarifying the discussion to do so. 8, the chairman shall then provide an opportunity for the applicant to respond to these additional remarks if he or she or his or her representative so wishes. 9, the Conservation Commission Inland Wetland Agency has 35 days from the date the public hearing commences to complete the public hearing. The commission may ask the applicant for a 35-day extension of the public hearing period if the commission requires any additional information or wishes to schedule a site walk to observe the situation for themselves. 10, the Conservation Commission Inland Wetland Agency has 35 days from the date when the public hearing is closed to render its decision.
Thank you. 3, public hearing. A, continuation of the public hearing from December 14, 2023 for the application 2023-13 of Williams-Zarella for the construction of a covered boat slip on the shore of Lake Winnemucca, installation of ground-mounted solar panels and upland review area at 229 Crusoe Drive, Watertown.
Good evening, everyone. Billy and Doug, Phyllis E. Ryan and Ward, 235 Main Street in Watertown. We have, as you guys requested, a map, an engineer to do a map. We have an engineer coming with us. He ran into traffic and he'll be here shortly, so I was wondering if we could actually, if you wanted to take the other public hearing first, would that be easiest for the commission? In case you had questions on the map, I wanted the engineer to be here to speak on it.
You just need a motion to change the order
Correct.
of the agenda.
I make a motion, we change the order of the agenda from public hearing A to place it behind public hearing B. Continuation of public hearing from January 11th regarding the Burr Hall Farm LLC.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any question on the motion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed and abstentions.
Thank you, everyone.
B, continuation of the public hearing from January 11th, 2024 to the application 2023-16 of Burr Hall Farm LLC for the development of a 6.6 acre parcel of land for farming commercial use located on Olive Road, Watertown, Connecticut. There was a letter the secretary can read.
Letter dated February 8th. A letter dated February 8th, 2024, addressed to Watertown Inland Wetlands Agency, 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut, 06795. Attention Musa Raffi. regarding Burr Hall Farm LLC, farm property on Olive Road, map 167, block 22, lot 2, extension request. Dear Mr. Raffi and agency members, the undersigned attorney for the applicant hereby requests and grants to the Watertown Inland Wetlands Agency and Conservation Commission an extension of the public hearing until and including March 15th, 2024. It is the applicant's intention to address any open issues between now and the agency's regular meeting scheduled for March 14th, 2024. Please contact me with any questions. Thank you sincerely, James R. Strub, attorney for the applicant.
To make a motion to table?
I make a motion to accept the applicant's request for an extension and table the public hearing.
Just continue the public hearing.
Continue.
So table it?
You will continue the public hearing on March 14th.
Yes, excuse me, correct that. Continue it.
Second. Motion made and second. Any question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.
You're out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's me again. I mean, so I could provide everything else and we could
If
restart
not,
this.
that's fine. I mean, we can continue on the agenda, like, if you want to wait longer.
I was gonna say, if you wanted to go to the next matter, which appears to be carrier construction, we're okay with that. It's completely up to the commission. I'm okay
Mr.
with
Chairman, you
starting.
can continue on the agenda.
Right,
and then-
unless you don't have the map.
I have the maps. I have the big maps. It's more so if you guys had specific questions because you asked for specifics on it, including like the
Right,
slope
but
and all that.
we've never seen the map, so you could
Yeah,
just.
I just-
You
it
could
was
just give
finalized.
us the maps tonight, and we're not gonna be able to act on it tonight anyways.
Yeah.
So, if we have questions, it'll be at the next hearing.
Okay,
Right.
then,
Actually, since we're talking about this issue, Mr. Chairman, they already granted 65 days extension to you. And
Right.
that's the maximum time for extension. Because if we receive the new maps tonight, there is no way we can review that and say we have to continue next
Yes.
month.
correct.
But the best thing to do is, can you withdraw the application and resubmit it, then the clock starts from zero?
Yeah,
And you can ask the chairman not to charge you another application fee because you already paid.
okay.
And that will be better because we will have more time to review these new maps. And also in case if there is additional information is needed, then you have time to submit it.
Okay.
Because they have to close the public hearing
Yeah,
tonight.
right.
If they do
Pursuant
that.
to the statute,
And
yeah,
then you
we did
cannot
it.
submit new
Yeah.
application, new information. I think it
Understood.
will be beneficial to the applicant.
Right.
If we can just withdraw the application and resubmit it,
Okay.
then the clock starts again, and then you have 65 days.
Okay, I can do that after today. So I guess just for purposes of clarity, he's definitely coming, so I know you wouldn't be able to make a decision, but if you had questions, if you were looking at it, I know you wouldn't have all your questions
Right.
more after that. Do you want to wait for him to come? I have no problem
No,
with waiting.
I'd rather
longer.
just withdraw them and then have time to look at it.
Yeah.
We'll take the maps.
Okay, so what I'll
Yeah.
do is this, I have a few things to present, so we'll do this now. You guys requested a few things. One of the biggest things was the access path. You wanted to know its precise location, how steep materials to be used, and method of construction. The steepness of it and location are marked on the map. I'm gonna get that to you now. As far as method of construction, I have a separate sheet that was drawn up by the engineer that's showing sequence of construction. It includes site preparation, to dewater the pond, and then third is the construction access way. So there is a sequence list on there as well. So I'm gonna get you the big maps. I have smaller versions, and then this as well.
But if you want to withdraw the application and then resubmit it, isn't that better to just resubmit
Right.
these all with the application?
I could, but did you want the big ones?
If you withdraw it, no, we take it, but this will be a part of the new application.
You're looking to do it that
I think that makes
Yeah.
more sense,
Right.
that when you submit the application, these will be all attached to the application.
I can do it that way.
Okay.
That's easiest.
Are you agree?
You agree?
I would agree, yeah, if you're looking at all new, if you're
Right.
not looking at
Yes.
the old one at all. and just compile everything, I understand.
Okay. Then at this time, you just ask to withdraw your application, and then you will resubmit and ask the chairman to waive the application fee for you.
Okay, thank you.
And then I need something in writing, you can send it to the office.
Yeah,
later on
I'll
that
send
you
it to the
withdrew
office with everything together.
She's got a right?
She has to ask for it, no?
Julian, I think you got to ask us that on the record.
Oh, on the right, sorry,
Sorry.
I thought you said you wanted me to send something. I
No.
No, you
apologize.
should ask it at the record, then you can write it and send
Of
it.
course, so I'd like to ask on the record that this one's closed out. I'm going to withdraw the application and resubmit with everything compiled at that time. And I just-
And waive the fee?
And waive the fee, I
Yeah.
apologize, yes.
Yes. Okay.
I'll make that
Thank
a
you.
motion.
We don't need any.
I don't know if there's anybody from the public on this. Lauren, is there anything on? No. Okay.
I make a motion, we accept the application for withdrawal and the request for the waiver of the resubmission of the permit fee.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is an extension.
For regular meeting, 5, election of officers. So tonight, the election is the chairman, vice chairman, and secretary.
I make a motion to put up Craig Palmer for chairperson again.
Second.
You could do the rest.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Any other nominees?
Yeah.
Any other nominees?
Any other nominations? Any other nominations for chairperson?
You close the nomination.
I close the nomination.
And
All in
secretary.
favor?
Aye.
Will the secretary cast one ballot, correct?
We make a motion that the secretary cast one ballot for Craig Palmer to be seated as the chairman.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Craig is chairman.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Next position is vice chair. Any nominations for vice chair?
Make it,
Nominate Tom Murphy? Sorry.
second.
Motion made and seconded that the secretary cast one ballot for.
Any other nominee?
Any other nominations?
In case.
Secretary cast one ballot for Tom Murphy to be vice chair.
Congratulations.
Good luck. You got a raise, Tom.
Here you go, yeah. Double my
Your
pay.
salary.
C is, next chair is secretary. Do you hear any nominations for secretary?
Edwin Dalton for secretary.
Second.
Any other nominations for secretary? Move the nominations be closed and secretary cast one ballot. Thank you.
Second.
Public participation.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
You will get a raise.
Doubled my pay.
Lauren, anybody on public? Thank you. 7, action on minutes, A, regular meeting, January 11th, 2024. We did not receive the minutes, correct?
Yes, please table that.
Make a motion, we table the minutes under 7A, for the regular meeting of January 11th, 2024.
Second.
Motion's made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. A, pending applications, application 2023-13 of William Zarella for the construction of a covered boat slip on the shore of Lake Winnemog, installation of ground-mounted solar panels in the upland reviewer, 229 Crusoe Drive, Watertown.
What are we
The
removing this
same
from?
motion to accept the
Yes.
withdrawal? Yes.
Motion to accept the withdrawal of application.
Motion made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. B, application 2023-16 of Burr Hall Farm LLC for development of 68.6 acre parcel of land for farming commercial uses located on Olive Road, Watertown, Connecticut.
Make a motion that we accept the extension that was requested by mail.
Motion made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. C,
Got to table it.
we got to table that, Musa, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Make a motion to table application 2023-16 of Burr Hall Farm LLC.
Second.
Motion is made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? C, application 2024-1 of Cary Construction for a 7-lot residential subdivision, associated road construction, and construction of 7 new homes on Munson Road, Watertown.
Chairman, members of the commission and staff, Franklin Pilacy on behalf of the applicant and Mr. Wolf as the engineer and Mr. Carrier as the owner of the proposed subdivision. Following the site walk, I have a couple of comments, and then, of course, Mr. Wolf has done a lot of additional work since the site walk. Just like to remind everyone, the westernmost lot is really not part of the application. There's no wetlands in that area. So the wetlands application concerns the 7 lots shown off the new road. 6 lots. 6 lots, I'm sorry, off the new road, and the improvements to the new road from Linkfield coming down Munson. There is an application pending with the town of Watertown with respect to whether or not the town of Watertown will participate in some of the improvements that are required for this subdivision. The road has been a town road since 1955, and the town does receive income from the state for these unimproved roads, and the town does provide some level of maintenance to that road. But the ordinance calls for the town to participate when it comes time to improve the road, when people are going to be developing along that road. But it's not a guarantee by any means. It requires different levels of approval from the town council, really, because they would ultimately have to fund any improvements. So the road improvements will stand on their own. Whether the town participates or not is an open question, but it's not really for this agency or really even planning and zoning. It's really a town council issue, and that'll be pursued through other avenues. But this application, again, is for the subdivision, new road, new lots, and the improvements to the road that are going to occur one way or another in connection with the development of the subdivision. So with that, I think Ron has the best information.
Good evening, Ron Wolf, professional engineer, representing the applicant, Carrier Construction. And we had our field walk on Saturday morning, and we had all the houses staked out. You could see the houses. We did a aerial overlay as suggested by Musa, who we met with during the week. So we had the 4 corners of each house staked out, the septic systems, the proposed roadway, and you could see on this view here the location of everything with respect to the existing field, which we walked through. We did discuss the improvements to Munson Road as well, and noted the commission's concern about the stormwater runoff from the east end of Munson Road, and we are working on trying to get that runoff from the entire east portion of Munson Road to go into the detention basin. I met with Paul and Musa during the week, and we were looking at different options. So the goal would be to not only treat the runoff from the proposed new Colby Lane, but also to treat the runoff and detain it for the east end of Munson Road. That would require raising the profile of Munson Road to get the stormwater into the basin, which we have to adjust the location and the elevations. Essentially, the location would be the same, but we would probably have to make it a bit deeper to get the stormwater runoff in there and meet the town's requirements for freeboard and the water quality. So we are working on that, and we will have new plans submitted within a week or so. We also, at the commission's request, had a functions and values report prepared. We submitted that. That was done by Eric Davison, registered soil scientist and biologist. That's in your file. And that was submitted, just submitted yesterday. There were no regulated or endangered species found, and he also provided a report on the the existing conditions and, that are present at the site. So you have that. And with that, I can answer any questions or comments you may have.
I have, well, a couple things now. You're saying that the Lot 7 or the House 7 has no involvement in the wetlands? I would tend to disagree with that a little bit because of our, the change of the grades and the runoff is going to end up down in the wetlands. I know we discussed it currently does go down there anyways, but it was brought up that millings contaminate the wetlands, but millings drop out very quickly. Silt does not. So silt and salt pollutes the entire water system. It gets way out into the water of the wetlands. Okay, we all agree that the millings are a terrible idea, but they don't pollute the way, or I shouldn't say pollute, but affect the water as much as sand, silt, and salt mixed with water into the wetlands. So I disagree with the statement that Lot 7 has no impact to any wetlands in this application. I have another question of, there's no showing of the fire tank?
Correct.
So that's going to be another disturbance where that's
No.
going to be?
That would be located in the
How is that?
Colby.
No.
That's going to be located on Colby Lane. We're going to determine
Okay.
the location.
Not within?
Not within the regulated area, but, so just before we get too far away from Lot 7, there is no wetland within 100 feet of the lot, but we know that for sure. We did go out and did another site inspection of Plungus Road. There's an existing swale located on the east side of Plungus Road. Runoff from the west end of Munson Road flows towards the intersection of Plungus, then into a swale for 300 to 500 feet in a grass swale before it crosses underneath the road and goes to the west. So there's ample room.
But it still flows down there and it's going to be changed. That's all I was
Pardon?
saying. It still flows that way and is going to be
Right.
changed.
I think our point was that.
That's what I was saying.
Our point was that the lot, and there's no activity within 100 feet of any wetland, which is the upland review area in Watertown.
But
And-
no, that's not necessarily true. Any activity that may affect the wetland is also under us.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be within. If the water we're discharging is going to affect a wetland, that still can be brought up.
Right, so my point, I just wanted to
But-
clarify with you that there's no public property on the west side of Plungus Road as was thought at the field walk. That's owned by, would you be able to flip the slide down one, I think? Okay, so this is the town GIS. The properties, our properties in red here, for whatever reason. And you see Plungus Road running north-south, and the properties directly to the west of Plungus Road are not municipal properties. There's no opportunity there to make any drainage improvements. But you have a perfect scenario now for stormwater treatment and runoff. You have a grass-lined swale on the east side of Plungus Road that provides plenty of infiltration and treatment for any stormwater that's coming from Munson Road. I just, for the record, there is treatment there and a lot, for the allowance of infiltration. And there's an existing 15-foot wide roadway there now. So we're going to work with Public Works, hopefully reduce that proposed or requested pavement width down from 20 feet. So we're going to hopefully work that out with Public Works and Planning and Zoning during that permit process.
Ron, can you explain to the commission that where is the breaking point, the drainage breaking point is on that part of the Munson Road? That you can explain better that how much water goes to each direction. Sure. Yes.
Can you flip that a couple slides? Couple more? One more. Okay, right there. So our driveway is basically right on the high point of Munson Road for Lot 7. So the requested portion of the roadway to be widened is west of the driveway. So yes, there will be a small portion of runoff that flows towards the east, but the town has requested that we work with them to improve the west end of Plunges Road there, which stormwater will be directed to that swale that I was just explaining to you. So it doesn't go directly to a wetland. It flows through a grass swale. It's in perfect condition. There's a culvert goes underneath at least one driveway. So we did take a look at that, and
Mr. Chairman, I'm kind of agree with Mr. Wolf because in the office we had a meeting on this issue and we look at the entire area that what is the closest wetland. There is a pond on Plunges Road on the other side, which is more than 500-600 feet away from this property. And by having that grass swale, even if there is any discharge leaving this site, going into that swale, by the time it reaches under the road, it will be cleaned. I mean, I agree that Lot 7 has no adverse impact on any wetlands, and there is no regulated activity associated with the development of that lot, because it is outside of our regulated area. But you should focus mostly, yes.
The question was unanswered.
Yes, I did look with Mr. Wolf together, and we noticed that there is no wetland close to that area that this is going to adversely impact. I think the commission should focus mostly on the other end of the project, where the new road is, and also the detention ponds and stuff. Mr. Wolf, did you change the detention pond based on that new calculations and stuff?
we are working on that. Yeah, so our goal is to, would you be able to flip the slide, probably back one? Okay, so you could see the Munson Road there on the lower part of the map. Our goal is to revise the drainage on Munson Road. As you could see now, we have the two catch basins just west of the culvert crossing. And we were previously proposing to discharge them to that riprap apron on the north side of Munson Road. We're going to raise the grade of Munson Road, have that runoff from those two basins be directed to the stormwater pond, and then from there it would be stored and detained and treated, and then released back out into the wetlands. That's what our goal is going to be, to try and get that done for Paul's review, and hopefully a review letter for your next meeting. And that will provide zero increase in runoff for all the storm events required, and then also provide the water quality for DEP's stormwater quality requirements. So that's about as good as you could ask for any road, new or existing.
Is the detention pond is going to be dry bottom or wet
Wet,
bottom?
wet bottom, which is
How much water will be standing there?
it'll be about 2 feet.
2 feet.
Yes, and that'll be in there all the time.
And do you have a planting plan also in the pond?
We're going to plant, since it's wet bottom, it's got to be that wet bottom, but we'll have that specified on the plans.
Some wetland plantation?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, you are creating a kind of like wetland
Right.
environment?
Yes.
Okay.
I think what the commission's got to decide is a significant activity. There's quite a bit of, the western side is all wetlands, that development elevation-wide is above the wetlands. There's wetlands on both sides of Munson Road. We were standing there, you were unsure of how we're going to do this. So I think that's the first step we got to pass through here. There was quite a bit going on there. That's a huge, that Peck Swamp is a huge wildlife and history. We got a lot going there.
Mr. Chairman, just for your information and for the Commission's information, during that staff meeting, I did recommend that they should determine where the limit of disturbance is, and then on that there should be a stone wall. There is an existing stone wall to a point, and if they can continue that to mark.
It was very
not a
hard.
stone wall.
There's no stone
It's
wall.
somewhere
The
else.
stones-
I wasn't there, but the
Yeah.
map shows a stone wall. Okay.
It's
There was a
rocks.
few stones there.
It's
There's
more
no wall.
remains.
No.
Yeah.
Stone wall remains.
Right.
Because I look at the map, it shows that there is a stone wall.
There is portions of it, but it's more like just piled stones and not a formal wall. Just
That
stones
whole
when the
western
field was.
side would need a stone wall from Munson Road all the way around to Lot 4. You're on the whole,
Yeah.
you're 25 feet from the, to me, I think a little bit more thought in the commission here, reasonable use of their property. 25 feet from the back of the house to the wetlands, I don't think that's reasonable use.
No, would you be able to flip back to the aerial, which I think was the first, okay, so here you could see that the house, essentially all the development is in that field.
Except that day you had the wetlands flags on these other houses are right in the back.
The wetland flags, a reasonable backyard is not 25 feet.
No, we don't have 25 feet proposed. There's no less than 40 or 50 feet.
That's not what it showed the other day. That's not what you said on Saturday.
Right.
Yeah, I
If
have,
you looked at those,
think the flag goes
it's
to-
even
flag-
40 or 50 feet is not.
no, there must have been a misunderstanding from what was said, because there's at least 40 to 50 feet between the houses and the proposed clearing limits, for sure.
I think at the last meeting, I did make
Yeah.
a recommendation that provide enough area in the backyard for each house that those homeowners don't have to come back every time that they want to build something in the backyard, like a shed or a swimming pool or something.
Yeah, we can revisit the clearing limits, but there's, between the backs of the houses, I'm just gonna look at lot 6 here. Lot 6 would be the closest, is 40 feet now
To 40 feet to what?
to the
wetland.
clearing limits. But
To the
what we're
wetland,
trying to, the point we're trying to make in the field is that there's nothing there to clear really in back of the houses because it's a field now. Like if you look at lot 6, which is the first one on the left,
Right, but it's 40 or 50 feet to the wetland, not to the upland review area.
no, it's not. It's from the wetlands to the back of the house, it's 120 feet.
I don't know about that. The flags
Yeah.
didn't look like that the
No,
other day.
we gotta go back and revisit that.
Yeah, no, it's, I don't know if we could flip back to probably the 4th or 5th sheet. Some of the houses are, in different locations, but one more, please. Okay, so, and this pointer is not working, but, so the double dashed line there in back of the house there, that's the 100-foot setback. So the house is on the other side of further out of the wetlands than 100 feet.
Is this the same map that we looked at the last meeting?
This is the same map, yeah.
But if you remember at the last meeting, I said asked you that if the silt fence is the limit of disturbance,
Yep.
and does that mean that property owners will be satisfied with that backyard? I mean, is that reasonable? Is that
Well-
feasible?
For the next meeting, we'll field locate the tree line. I think that would that more
Public hearing on it.
help the commission more figure out what's on the map, or I'm not sure. We had everything staked, but I'm not sure what else you guys need to see.
So when we went, the pink flags that you had marked, was that for the wetland edge or for the 100-foot?
That was the wetland edge.
Because that pink flag, we talked, I mean,
Right.
that
We're
pink
there.
flag was right 40 feet, 30 feet off the back stakes for that house.
Right.
Which house are we referring
That one
to?
in the bottom left corner.
Yeah, because
When
on
you
the
were
south
there.
side, it was it came back with a severe angle from the
Right.
north down to
Because
south, if
we
we read it
literally,
correctly.
we asked, and
You
you said
asked.
the 100-foot's gonna be all the way out into the road.
Yeah,
Right.
When we did
No,
the
no,
site.
no. We must have been looking at the wrong flags. The flags were in the woods,
okay.
and the.
Yeah, right at the edge of the woods.
Right.
And you even said that there's a spur that comes out and we're
Yeah.
standing right here.
Right.
And where we were standing,
We had commented, it was.
the house was, I mean,
I think we were looking at the
could cut
septic
above
flags,
that.
that we were looking at the septic
pink
system
flags.
flags.
They were pink flags.
I
Yeah,
wasn't there, I cannot make any comments, I didn't see.
Yeah.
that's not what you had said at the sidewalk. You
Yeah,
said
no.
those stakes were the corner of the house. That was that, and that was that. And this is where we're standing, and this is the edge where this spur comes out. I don't know and that was very, very close.
So,
And that's what you
It's
said when
knocked
we
out
were
quite a
there, so
bit.
that's what we're going by.
right, that's what we're going by, what you said.
yeah, no, well, I can
Right.
tell you by
Right,
the mapping
we can
that it must
relook
have been
at
a
it if-
misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Everyone, right,
No,
everyone,
everybody
everything
here
can get-
kind of agrees.
Yeah, well, if we have to revisit it, we will,
Yeah.
but it must have been a misunderstanding in the field.
So I guess the commission has to decide, is this a significant
Can
activity?
can you mark the flags, like the wetland flags, normally they have a number?
They all have wetland
And then
markings on it.
Most soil scientists, they use blue color.
It's pink and it says wetland delineation on it, the wetland
Okay.
flags, yeah.
Okay, and then the
house
markers
corners.
for the house
They're-
corners,
They're marked also.
the same color,
No, are they,
they were wooden stakes.
wooden stakes.
the house corners are orange,
And they're in the field.
And then there's
Right.
there's
But
another
that edge
color.
of that wetland is right at the edge of the field where we discussed on the other day.
That is true on that lot, but the house is up a lot further from the edge of the field on that lot. That's what you're confused on, I think. On that particular lot, the wetlands creeps
I know I'm
up.
not confused about what we talked about, 100% not confused.
Yeah,
So,
let's-
We're all in agreement there.
Either way,
We're all opposite.
either
Right.
way,
We're gonna move on from
we're
there.
gonna
Okay.
move on. I make a motion that this is a
No, just
significant
one
activity.
second, 1 second. If they want to go back, can you please make sure that they are clearly marked?
Sure.
That this is the septic area.
With
this
blue-
is the
with blue
corner of the
flags.
house.
Yeah,
Every
it's
wetland
fine.
flag I've ever seen is blue. I don't know where orange came from, but
No, the house flags are orange,
blue.
Craig.
I know, but the
Right.
wetlands are blue.
Wetland flags are pink with wetland delineation markings on
We
them.
did-
It's very clear. They
I
say
know I did
wetlands
not
on them.
walk out to see the flags. We pointed them out, we all indicated
Yeah,
we saw them. So
right.
somewhere along the line, there's a miscommunication.
Right.
It's got to be
Right.
straightened out. And
That's for sure.
Clearly it, yeah.
Have public hearing,
Yeah.
then also the sidewalk.
So I make a motion that this is significant activity and requires a public hearing?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Should we,
Do
would
another
it be,
sidewalk?
And also
would it be
we'll-
useful to schedule another site walk
Yes.
there?
Okay.
Yeah.
Motion to schedule a site walk for application 2024-1.
You want to do the Saturday before the next meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
It shouldn't be a big deal. It's just a matter of meeting there because it's all marked
Right.
out.
Right,
Just getting,
right, everything was marked, we just.
yeah, just getting it straightened out in everybody's minds. That's all.
Was that
tonight.
motion second?
Yeah.
Motion is made and second. Any question on motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries.
What's the date?
9th, yes.
And that'll be at 9 o'clock?
March 9, 9 o'clock, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
D, application 2024-2 of the Town of Watertown Department of Public Works for replacement.
One more motion that you table this item.
All right.
Did you?
I thought they did that, but.
Okay.
I make a motion table application 2024-1 of Carrier Construction, Inc.
Second.
Motion's made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. D, application 2024-2 of the Town of Watertown Department of Public Works for replacing an existing triple RCP culvert with a new 40-foot line, 6x4 reinforced concrete culvert and discharge of storm runoff in the floodplain 0 Knight Street.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Commission members, again, for the record, Paul Benevich, Watertown Town Engineer, representing the applicant, Watertown Public Works, for the replacement of the culvert, triple existing decaying culvert in Knight Street with a precast concrete box, culvert and inlet and outlet, storm riprap protection, new drainage, and with a double CV catch basin in Knight Street. At the field walk on Saturday, there's a number of comments. We saw the silt that the town removed at the previous storm, which piled quite a pile that, I know this is a problem with this whole culvert and watercourse system, but at this point, one of the suggestions the commission had last month was to extend the application for the rest of the channel improvements or cleaning or widening. We'd like to do that. We consider this just phase one of that whole renovation of this drainage in this Knight Street area. But because of the application we have for funds from FEMA for flood relief, this would certainly not jeopardize, but just lose that money that we're hoping to get from FEMA. We're almost, 98% of the way pending this application and the floodplain approval from P&Z. So that's something that's still, we're doing it, but it's just not part, we can't make it part of this application and get that. Monies from FEMA, it's somewhere like $42,000 or $43,000 or in the works to get from, I think, plus I didn't get the exact figure, I should have looked it up before the meeting. Also, one of the comments at the field walk was that the runoff runs from Main Street down all the way across where the culvert is now and just heads toward the right 90-degree corner of Knight Street towards the properties up by Steel Brook, and the suggestion was made to put a a curve or a dip, a low point before the culvert crossing so that water would collect there and just could be discharged to the stream directly on the south side. That's something we're willing to do. To change that, I didn't have a chance to revise the plans. We could just stipulate that in any motion the commission may make. One other comment I had, this came up at P&Z last night with the floodplain application. The culvert is sized for a 50-year storm. And I brought the calculations with me. The 50-year runoff storm peak is 83.17 cubic feet per second. The 100-year storm is 162.43, which is more, just almost double the 50-year storm. So that's quite a difference there. Also, the 100-year storm, the road would flood, and I have the calculations here, for about 40 minutes of an hour of the whole 24-hour storm. So, and also I said that this is in the floodplain. It's going to be flooded anyway unless we revamp that whole Steelbrook corridor at some point with the millions of dollars that's going to take in the future. So I want to just submit those calculations. I also show the culvert. Oh, the culvert capacity is beyond the 50-year storm. It's 116 CFS, or 40% over the 50-year storm, even though the 100-year storm, like I said, is almost 100% of the 50-year flow, peak flow. So there's still, it's somewhere between a 50 and a 100-year storm without flooding the road. I'd like to submit those calcs.
Yeah.
And that's all I have at this point. Any questions? I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Basically, on the sidewalk, when we discussed that you clarified some things that we weren't aware of at the last meeting. And then we discussed trying to make almost like a swale, so to speak.
Right,
to
a
direct the water
low
in the road.
point, correct, yes, we are.
Basically, all this is doing is helping save the road from washing out.
Correct, at this point.
Right
yeah.
now, we're not doing anything, it's not helping the water get anywhere any faster or slower or anything. I mean,
yeah.
by doing that swale, that it's going to help keep water from
And also
coming.
the double catch basin in lieu of the manhole, no, there is a single catch basin. We're going to increase the capacity, and
Right.
that will divert to the low side of the
Right, that'll help.
the culvert,
So-
yeah, so. Like I said, the remediation of the whole stream all the way down through the dog park to Steel Brook is definitely on our agenda. It's just, because of complications with the FEMA monies, we just can't be part of this application at this time, so.
Motion to approve application 2024-2.
Second.
Excuse me.
Subject to standard conditions.
Yes.
Joe does that.
Yes.
Musa, do we need to put in that motion about the swale not on the plans?
No, actually, this will be phase one of that project. I mean, in the
But
future,
the
if they
swale
want
is
to.
part
do-
of this.
Yeah.
the
The
part-
I
swale
said we
is in the road,
stipulate
like,
to
we
it,
wanna
yeah,
try and
absolutely,
Get the
yeah.
water to come down.
Well,
Yes, that can be,
And-
Yeah.
that can be added,
And the swale.
yes.
right, yep.
The motion's made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? One abstention, myself.
Thank you.
9, new application. A, application 2024-3 of Newport Realty Group LLC, Highview Estates, Pondview Drive, Phase 3 for the revision of a previous map, inland wetlands and watercourse boundary.
Good evening. For the record, it's Matt Sanford, professional wetland scientist, registered soil scientist with SLR. So this evening, we're here to make a determination whether or not this commission deems the changes to the wetlands that have been delineated on this site require a public hearing. So if we have the wetland map, it's called the Wetland Map Amendment Plan. Let's do the color change one, please. So a little history about this site. The site was originally delineated by Lowen and McBroom back in 2007. It was delineated by William Root, a registered soil scientist, and myself. Then we were contacted in 2023 for a new development to be proposed on this particular site. And since the wetland flags were more than 5 years old, is what my typical statute of limitations are for wetland flags, it was recommended to the client that we reflag the wetlands on this site to make sure that they're still consistent, or if there was any changes, to reflect those in the new plans. So in November 10th, actually, of 2023, myself and another soil scientist revisited the site and reflagged those wetlands. Those wetland flags were then picked up by Cratchit and Jones, I believe on November 24th of 2023, and they've been shown on the plans that were submitted as part of this wetland map amendment application. A couple of things to note on this property. Back in 2007, when Malone McBroom completed the work on this site, it was during the summer, so I believe it was August. This site is extremely densely vegetated with multiflora rows. In some spots, it was impenetrable during the summer months. So there was some conservative wetland lines put on the map back in 2007. In 2023, it was my recommendation that we complete this work with leaf off so that we can see better in terms of what the topo was, be able to actually get in there by cutting our way through some of the vegetation to actually extract soil cores in some of these locations that were questionable back in 2007. So what you see on the map is two different colorations. We have a green line and we have an orange line. The orange line represents areas of wetland that have changed since 2007, meaning they've actually been decreased from the original line. Areas in green, on the green lines, are areas where wetlands have potentially increased or have increased based on the wetland flagging. A couple things to note. Back in 2007, the wetland flags were picked up with what we call handheld global positioning system units. Those have an accuracy typically of sub-meter, but in some cases, wetland flags can be off by 4 to 5 feet. The flags that were picked up in 2023 were picked up by actual survey, so they should be dead on in terms of that. So some of these small discrepancies that you might see out here could be a factor of the actual survey method for actually picking up the flags. In addition to that, remember, as we took a fresh look at this, and so there were no actually wetland knots left on any of the trees that we had originally, or shrubs that we had tied flags back in 2007. So when we do a fresh look at a site, we don't necessarily tie our flags on the exact same tree as it was in 2007. So some of the flags could be tied on a tree that's 5 feet this way or 5 feet that way. And so you start to see some of these small discrepancies between the lines in some areas, and that's attributed to that. I think the biggest change really on this particular project is the intermittent watercourse that is located in the central property. So north on this map is the ceiling, south is the floor. If you look at the central watercourse corridor, right in the middle of the property, the watercourse flows from west to east, and you can see the orange line is much, from the 2007, is much wider than our 2023 line. And that was a result of the amount of multiflora rows that was in there in August. What we did this time around is I actually cut my way through and went down the center of the channel and actually found the ordinary high water mark of that watercourse and precisely mapped it in 2023. And what that did was that narrowed the wetland corridor through that area. And so that's what you're seeing in this reflection here of the difference, is why it looks more narrower today than what we had in 2007. So that was one of the changes. That's probably the biggest change on the actual wetland map itself.
I'm a little confused on.
Sure.
You don't have a wetlands permit now, right?
No, there was a wetlands permit. So this was approved back in, Tony, when was this originally approved?
So you have to come, I don't know why you're here. You have to come back and submit a whole subdivision plan and wetlands. So I don't know why we're not going to approve anything off.
Mr. Chairman, can I explain? I'm
yes.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
For a minute.
I'm a little
What
confused.
happened, the applicant called the office and I talked to him on the phone and
Right.
he told me that he has an application for a map amendment. You know that the town of Watertown has a
Right.
wetland map?
Yeah.
He thought that there's like a significant changes that they are going to change the map. but because I wasn't in the office, I just told Roseanne to, if they submit the application, just put it on the agenda. After I reviewed this map, and I noticed that there's only minor changes from last time to this time, and I agree with them that it doesn't require the public hearing, and this is actually not a map amendment. Whenever they submit the actual project application, at that time, the commission will look into the regulated activities if they are proposing.
Right.
At this
Because
time, I
there's
think
no-
there was some
Yeah,
misunderstanding.
because we have no
There is no
application before us, so.
there is no need for this
No,
now.
I-
Unfortunately,
Okay.
it was too late, but
Yeah.
the commission can just determine that this is not required a map amendment.
Okay.
And therefore, there is no need for a public hearing. But
Right,
they
I
are
don't
not approving any
Anything,
regulated
we're not
activities.
Oh, right,
Yes.
well, we're not showing it either on here. All we were showing is the difference between the two.
No, I just want to make
that's it.
sure that it's
Yeah.
well-known, we're not approving anything.
Yeah.
We have no
Because
application
sometimes
before us, I
applicants
don't know
get
what.
confused. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want him to think that, oh, the commission approved my project.
Yeah,
This is
no,
not
there's
the
actually nothing,
project.
yeah, there's nothing here to show that for approval
The
yet, so.
chairman's confused.
All you need is just a motion that this is not, that doesn't require a map amendment, and
Right.
therefore there is no need for a public
Okay.
hearing. Yes.
Want to make that a motion, Mike?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, let's see, to approve,
You are not actually approving,
No,
that
you're
you are
getting-
agree, you are agree with the applicant, yes.
Wait, can he just withdraw it, or no? Why
They can
can't he,
withdraw
why
it.
can't he just withdraw it?
They can- But
Right?
there is one thing that I cannot give you back the fee, if they withdraw.
Sir, the only thing you're going to lose is the check.
Yes. If you want, you can withdraw the application, there is no need for it. But we cannot refund you.
We,
So there's your answer. So, yeah, I think if the appropriate means is to withdraw the application, then we are asking to withdraw the application.
that's what I.
Okay, can you please write something on a piece of paper and give it to us? And that you want to withdraw the application?
So before any work happens in this, they have to come before us.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, we will be back,
On the
yeah.
project, they will
Yes.
come, yes.
map amendments right now.
No.
I'm sorry?
No, I didn't say.
So, and that's going to be totally different.
Well, of course, then they have to show the
Right.
road construction,
Right.
the lots,
So
the
take a long
buildings and everything, yes.
Yes, here to start.
That application will be forthcoming probably at the end of this month to the commission. So you'll be seeing this
Okay.
in March, or hearing it in March.
Maybe you can get a discount on the next one.
That's what I was.
Yes,
All right, right, maybe you can try it.
Mr. Chairman, can I just say one thing?
Yes, sir.
Just not an impartial observer, but I don't think it was worth them worthwhile for them to submit this, at least to show the difference.
Right.
I mean, a map amendment, I know what a map amendment is. I don't know, what is the fee for a map amendment?
whatever, $600?
Yeah, so it's a fair fee.
Yes.
So I mean, I know he's losing, but it was still, the commission made a determination, now it's not a map amendment. So at least you learn that, they learned that much, so.
Right.
It's not a significant.
I've
yeah.
never seen one.
If they do the
Oh,
map
I've-
amendment, then we have to go to the town.
I know,
Wetland
I
map
realize
and make
that.
these changes.
I know, it's happened in other towns
Yeah,
I've
it
seen.
doesn't
so, yeah.
require
No.
that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, some municipalities do map amendments
yeah,
routinely. Some do.
All right,
No,
I don't,
Yeah, some.
Yeah, some do.
No, if there is like a large piece of wetlands and then somebody claimed that it's not wetland anymore, and after we investigate and we are agree with them, then we can remove that from the wetland map of the town.
Because I'll be honest, I've done quite a bit of work in Watertown. This was my first map amendment meeting or application, so I thought it was something new that the town was
Yeah.
actually implementing now.
I can't, I
I
don't.
don't think the town's ever
And
done
sorry
one.
for the confusion.
Yeah.
I
I've seen
wasn't
it.
in the office after the application came, because if I was there and see that what the changes are.
No, I didn't see
And
it
actually, I
either.
want to make a positive comment about their finding, because it's a very honest thing.
Right.
It is the same soil scientist who did the first time, and the second time he went there, and he noticed that there are some differences. If it was somebody, this probably say that, oh, the wetlands are the same.
And having
However,
attempted to walk through
and we
multiflora
appreciate
roses,
the
I know what
honesty.
Matt went through.
Yeah.
I know what he went through.
It's a rural site for multiflora rose, I will just say that.
But you had nothing else to do tonight.
It's not, you still got some thorns in them probably, so.
You gotta make that up. You finish the motion or whatever happens.
Please read that into the record and then make a motion.
Thank you. Sure. Letter from the applicant dated February 8th, 2024 to Town of Watertown, Connecticut. Newport Realty Group LLC agrees to withdraw application 2024-3, signed by the applicant, a member of Newport Realty Group LLC. Thank you.
We just need a motion to accept the letter and withdraw the application.
Motion to accept letter and withdraw application.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya. B, application 2024-4, Matthew Cronin for the location of a portion of on-site septic system regulated activity within Upland Revere and Lot 2, Northfield Road.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Ryan Geddes for Matthew Cronin from Your Industries.
Just give your address, sir.
What's that?
What's your address?
I-
Your address?
Oh, the address.
No,
Your address.
Mine is 296 Reynoldsbridge Road, Thomas.
All right.
I'm very hard of hearing.
All right.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Just a little explanation of what you're doing.
So-
Obviously, you're building a house, I know.
Yeah, it's a new home. Mr. Cronin's putting a new home on the
Right.
property. And when the site plan was finished up, we saw that a little bit of the septic system was within the 100-foot, but not in any of the 50-foot of the regulated area. Or is it the upland review area?
We don't have that 50 feet anymore, it is 100 feet.
Okay, some different towns, when we go to different towns, there's 50, 100, and
So this is already approved, just under the 50-foot, the previous 50-foot guidelines?
It was
No, it's
approved,
not.
but that permit is expired.
Expired, right, so it's a new, and there's
This was
more.
approved as a barn in the bottom and a house at the top.
yes,
And that's what we're currently doing?
the barn already is there, it's been there.
No, but the house is still gonna be by the street.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So any work being done to the barn is within the upland review area, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then this, because of the way the wetland is, the septic is within the upland review area.
Correct.
This map's hard to.
So normally on something like this, we'll go out for a site walk. So we'll schedule a site walk before the next meeting.
There it is.
Whatever
Yep,
the,
that's
whatever
Right,
the
so-
commission wants to do.
you don't go.
I mean,
So
if
you have
it's-
the house stake, the wetland
Right.
stake,
I got
the
it.
upland review area stake.
Okay.
Make a motion, we schedule a site walk?
Yeah,
Second.
motion made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? They'll notify you, sir. So it'll be the Saturday, what's the date, Paul?
March 9th.
March 9th,
At 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
And just for your information, please make sure that the soil scientists flag all the wetlands on the property
Okay.
and then stake out the location of the foundation for the house and the septic system.
And then, one more question. This driveway that's proposed that goes to the barn,
That's right.
That's what's existing.
It's not, that's
It's
existing.
existing.
okay?
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing that's proposed is the house, and,
Well, the covered
you know,
storage
we
on the
even tried to
barn.
get the engineer to try to move the septic up out of the wetland revere, then we wouldn't even need to be here. But, he just said at the time it wasn't what the homeowner wanted.
Well, you're proposing covered storage on the barn?
What's that?
You're proposing a piece off the side of the barn? Additional work? There's an additional covered storage area.
No, this application is not for the barn. This
That
for-
is not there
That was
right now.
approved, that was approved.
This is
in the
approved the
office,
way it
yes.
is.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is like the little addition to the
The-
back of the barn, yes.
The lean-to for the hay
lean-to,
coverage.
yes. That is not a part of this application, yes. But the wetland should be flagged that when we go there and see what's going on there.
Right. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
All right, thanks.
Have a great evening.
You too.
Make a motion, we table 2024-4.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Thank you. 10, old business, none. 11, new business, none. 12 communications and bills, none. 13 reports from officers and committees, a chairman's report. Moose, I was asked about Lake Winnemog. Somebody asked me that. This being advertised as a 4-lot subdivision. It's being sold as a 4-lot subdivision. Can you explain that to the commission, how that's?
I actually went to the assessor's office today, and they realized that Lot 4 is not a buildable lot the way it is approved, and they are going to put that into their record.
Okay.
Yes,
But
there is only 3 lots that showed the houses and you approved as a subdivision. Because if you remember at that time, the
Right.
town attorney advised us that you cannot deny the subdivision.
Right.
But you can deny regulated activities on a lot. Therefore, you approved 4 lots, but on lot 4, you put restriction that
Right.
it's not buildable.
So before you went down there today,
Yes,
if I showed up yesterday as Craig Palmer Realty, that would have been sold to me as a 4-lot subdivision.
probably.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I did just wonder how that continued.
I didn't know how that happened, but I went to the assessor's office today.
Okay.
And actually, I went with them together to the town clerk office to see the subdivision map. And after they notice all those restrictions on that lot, they are going to change their record.
Okay, so that'll go over to the town clerk's office or wherever the maps are filed or however that's
No,
done?
it will be the assessor's record will be changed.
Right.
The town
that-
clerk already has the map.
Right, but it'll be that map that she has,
The
or they
assessor
have?
had it as 4 lots.
Right,
It got caught.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
So the map doesn't change, but the assessor has to change her record.
no, but if
Because-
somebody comes in a title, whatever they do, and they come into the town clerk's office and they look at these, whatever, what are they
Yeah.
gonna see?
They are changing that. This
Okay.
is not a
PC4.
buildable lot.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
Right.
right, I just,
And also, they are reducing the taxes on that.
Right,
Because
so you
they
think-
wanted to tax as a regular lot, but now because they cannot build on it, they have to reduce the taxes.
Okay.
I'm confused of how that happens after we spend hours and thousands of dollars on this, that.
I know, that
If
should have
somebody-
been.
if somebody didn't say
That should have
something
been
to me-
noted on the original plan, not a buildable lot at this
Right.
time, or
Yeah.
some words to that effect, so.
I
And
think
the
that-
note
This
is
time,
there.
that's saying-
The
I
note
think you
is
guys-
there on the map.
Okay, I think,
So what happens, no, this isn't really us, but, okay, so now you have a non-buildable lot that Charlie Jones LLC Real Estate owns. They're gonna pay taxes on that forever?
Yeah.
Who do they sell, who's gonna buy that? Nobody.
The next door neighbor can buy it.
There's portions like that all over.
Right,
Yeah.
no, I know.
The next door neighbor can buy it. And
So if
add
they
it to
just
their-
don't pay their taxes, the town's gonna end up owning it.
No, they have to pay taxes.
So do I, but if I
according to
don't,
the- I'm sorry?
so do I, but if
Yeah,
I
then
don't,
the-
then the town takes my
And
house.
the town has a policy that after so many years, if you don't do it, then they will put it for sale, and then nobody buys it.
No
the
one's gonna
town will
buy it
own
because you can't
yes.
build on it. Right, so the town's gonna.
It's only one of the
That's what
neighbors
it'll
that
happen.
want
town
it.
budget.
Or the neighbor buys it for $10 or whatever the
right.
taxes are owed on it.
Whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Right, so that'll be interesting, but.
also, I come down Echo Lake Road quite a bit. I noticed at the gas station, there's no activity. But there's no stabilization. There's piles of dirt everywhere. There's dirt running in the retention pond.
Bless you.
There's no hay, there's no silt fence, there's no grass.
Bless you.
Something should be done up there. This is the 3rd time I've brought it up. Looks like they abandoned the site. I don't know what's going on, but to me, hopefully nobody here has signed off on anything on that permit there, because have you been up there?
There's nothing is leaving the site. Whatever it, as it goes into the pond, and that is a siltation pond now.
Right, but the
It
other
is,
day when it
yes.
was flooding, that thing was full, and it was discharging out into, by John Trumbull, and there was already.
We can go and look at that
Yeah,
and see
we will.
what's going on.
Now,
Who
so,
said I'll go?
so will they have to redo the pond when the project's
Yes,
over and
they
everything's
have to remove
stabilized?
all the sediments that they
okay,
collected
yeah.
during the construction.
Right.
And then bring it to the original grade that was
And we need an
approved.
as-built
Yes.
So
showing
it
that
was
it
kind of
can.
designed this way.
Yes,
It was meant to collect this
yeah.
Right, yeah,
stuff
absolutely.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Correct.
it's, when it rains,
No,
it's
I-
filling it
yeah.
up, and now it's
Right.
sending it down to the retention pond we just cleaned by John Trumbull.
Right,
The town is
Right.
on the hook for that one.
right.
Paul and I, we will go and check that.
Absolutely.
And then there was I was watching, maybe it's ZBA, there was something about training. And
Yes.
I don't know who, somebody made a comment that Wetlands doesn't do any training, so I don't know if you could,
We don't have, Mark says we didn't have to do any training.
can you
Yes.
clear now they're requiring 4 hours a year, or are we required?
I have to check that. I have to talk to my boss to see.
Okay,
what
all right,
he
well,
says.
that's fine, I just want to
Here's how it
know.
came up.
We should do it.
So
It's
Jeff
fine. I
Franson
don't have
said
an
he was
issue.
gonna pick on
No,
me.
I just want to know the rules.
And he said that I have to take twice as much training as everybody else because I'm on 2 commissions. And Mark said, no, Ned doesn't have to take any training because he's for wetlands, because they don't have to do any training.
I have to check the statutes and see, make sure.
I'm pretty sure we're supposed to.
I took that course, that 8-hour course, for us, the wetlands certification.
See, like the seminar that we went together,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Chairman, you
Yeah.
got credit for that.
Yes.
Yes,
Right, we've always done that.
yes.
Yeah. So the question is still there, do I have to do twice as much? Or can I count the same class twice?
Let me check that. Okay.
So is there any is there any other opportunity for the commission to get training at a meeting? Should there something else we should be doing? That's what I'm asking.
That's possible.
Okay, so
Yes.
You guys need
you'll
to
look
look at
into,
I have to look at it.
all
He
right.
said he sends us
No,
training
I'm not gonna take
monthly.
it, though.
It was pretty good.
Opportunities are all over the
Not
place.
at all, gives you the basics.
Right, I mean, I just.
None of us get it.
No,
No.
We did the training.
I don't
that
have
we
no
watched.
issue.
We watched the videos here.
Right, so I
Yeah.
mean, anything, if we, are we doing, should we be doing it annually, quarterly?
We're-
It's fine. I
If
just
you
wanna-
go through those classes that we aren't supposed to take, or are, who knows
Right.
what, but
I have,
those tell us that we should be scheduling one of our meetings every year for no business, just training.
That's
I
smart.
have the DVDs from Deep. If you guys are interested, I can put it on the agenda when we have a short meeting. I can
Yes.
put that. Especially that's beneficial for the new members.
Luigi and Ed never took that course, or never got invited to take that online course.
Online course?
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't taken it.
You get it monthly, don't worry about it.
Well, I just wanna make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be
Okay,
doing.
let me check that and I will give a report to you the next meeting, that what is required and what you have to do.
Right.
Okay?
And it doesn't usually arise, but when there's site walks, so we had the site walk on Munster Road last Saturday. So I directly asked Paul if he was here for wetlands or for the engineering department. And he said to me, I'm here for the engineering department. Is somebody, as long as I know the ground rules, is somebody required from the office, or is the chairman, or?
No.
Okay, so it doesn't,
It's not required.
all right,
But it is good, I always attend the site walks because I want to make sure that the commission doesn't make any technical mistakes.
Right.
That somebody can sue us,
right.
because it requires to have just one meeting, everybody be together. Sometimes what happens, like the applicants, they talk to one commission member, they become
No, I
like
know,
2, 3
okay.
meetings.
I just.
And I always want to be there to make sure that you see what you have to, you
Right.
should see, and then at the same time to keep an
Right.
eye that, make sure that we don't make any technical mistakes on the
So
site.
Paul didn't get paid twice that day?
Paul was double, he had a double role.
I got
would've
double,
supported
I
that.
took double donuts. I admit I took double
Yeah, you ate 2
donuts. so-
donuts, boy, you were all
You
over.
had a double role that day?
Oh, yeah, there, Dottie's Donuts are there, yeah.
I didn't have any.
Oh, they're trying to butter us.
I didn't know they were there, because I got there a little late.
Anything else?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
B, report from Wetlands Regulations Review Subcommittee.
Okay, we finally wrapped everything up. We had the final review of our proposed changes with the town attorney, and amendments were made. The last time that the inland wetland watercourse regulations were revised and updated was October 18, 2012. We are ready to submit that, schedule a public hearing to review the changes and accept them. So I make a motion that we basically schedule a public hearing
For next month?
for next
For
month.
the presentation of the new regulations. or-
Yes.
I'll second that motion.
A motion's made in second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. 14 reports from staff, none. 15 public participation. Nothing more. 16 adjournment at, whatever it is, 7:42, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Recording stopped.
You need a motion to adjourn.